friends, it's Rachel from Welcome Art Philadelphia, Ministry of the Welcome Church of Philadelphia. I'm really glad to see you all today. So last time we talked about flowers and we talked about buttercups and cherry blossoms. So I thought it might be helpful if we talked a little bit about leaves. Leaves are fascinating and they're so beautiful. And when you go outside, if you pay attention to leaves, you'll be busy for hours. So I just have a couple different leaves. I just went out and collected them. But look at these leaves. They're long and skinny and they kind of form like a flower or a star around the stem. And the stem, I know you can't feel it, but it's a little prickly. It has little bits on it, so there's no texture to there. This one is like a leaf of 3. It's not poison ivy though. But you see how the edges are kind of crinkly. Can you see that? And look at the veins of this leaf. They're incredible. Compare it to the veins of this leaf. And the edges are similar, but this one's, the edges are much more defined than this one. See? And then this one is much more jagged. This is like a dandelion leaf. Look how they're almost triangular in shape. Versus this one, which is just long and thin. And it's hard, but you see those lines, the veins of the leaf? When you look at leaves, they're amazing. This is a very soft leaf. It's like velvety. Maybe it's lamb's ear. And the veins are harder to see, they're soft. There's a texture there. You know, if you look closely, you can see the different veins of this leaf. And then, this leaf. This one is kind of like a party, but these are long and thin. And these are also long, but they're so different looking. You know, these ones end in a roundness and these ones end in a point. These are in little clusters. These are more like strands, like corn. These ones are tiny and there's also the line and the circle and then a teardrop shaped leaf. So as you're working, I brought these, look at this one. This is a sedum. But look how different this one is. You see the jagged edges on this one? And there's a shininess to this one versus the jagged edges on this one. Can you see the contrast in the two leaves? So, and they're all similar shapes. These are kind of like teardrops. And these are more like triangles. And these are like lines. And teardrops and maybe ovals. And this one's kind of heart-shaped. So as you're making art and kind of exploring flower making, leaves can add a lot. And just by changing little bits, you can change the whole flower, the whole plant that you're trying to portray. So like we were saying, some common shapes might be a teardrop, which is just like a loop with a little point, like a lemon, and you connect, or an eye. And then you could add a vein, and it doesn't have to be perfect. That is the beauty of nature. It's not perfect, but in its splendor, it's magnificent. So your art doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be pleasurable while you're making it. It makes you smile, and there's some feeling behind what you're making. So a teardrop, a heart-shaped leaf maybe. You know, it doesn't have to be exactly right. Maybe a long leaf. Ooh. Imagine how different this long leaf would look compared to this heart leaf. What kind of flower it would be. Or maybe it's a stem with some bob leaves, little circle leaves. Or a stem with little oval leaves. Maybe the oval leaves point this way. Maybe the oval leaves point up. By changing the direction, you can see how the plant changes and the image, the drawing changes. So that's a fun thing to look for and kind of explore. And I'll post up some pictures of different kinds of doodle leaves and but I encourage you to go outside. Look around you. This is something I really love to do. I call it like a photo safari. But take your camera on your phone and go outside. And sometimes I give myself a task, like find things that are pink or find things that start with the letter A. And then that's my challenge. I like challenge myself, and then I have to go out and find and photograph anything that's pink. And then, or even if it's like a theme, like if you're taking pictures of leaves and you just take pictures of leaves, like through the camera, you'll start seeing things in different levels because you want your pictures to be interesting. So suddenly it goes from a portrait like this to a portrait like this to the water droplets on the leaf. Or like flowers are, just walking around the street, and how many different color flowers do you see, or the different shapes of the petals, or how many petals are on a stem. So for today, I really encourage you to go outside and pay attention to the world around you and just be present while you're outside. Like, the world is beautiful and there's so many interesting things to look at. So I hope you just take a moment and just kind of like appreciate what is around you, and it will help your brain kind of like absorb this beauty so that you can release it in your artwork. I can't wait to see what you make. Again, our Facebook page is Welcome Art Philadelphia, and we're really hoping people post and give us ideas and how do you connect with nature and how do you incorporate nature into your artwork. I can't wait to see what you make. All right, have a great week, everybody, and thanks for joining us. Bye.